Alright guys, today I'm going to come at you with another video, and this one's going to be just like the one I just did, which is the top 5 pieces of advice I think you should know before enlisting into the Marine Corps, or the military for that matter. I for one am a Marine, if you guys didn't know. I highly recommend watching the videos that I put on my channel before this one, because it talks a lot about me and what I know regarding the Marine Corps. And yeah, I mean, I'm a veteran now. I got out 6 months ago, so anyway, I'm just gonna jump right into it. This first piece of advice I'm gonna give you, out of the 5 that I'm gonna give you today, it's gonna come from Jamie King. Right? So due to popular demand, I'm bringing this back. And when I say popular demand, I mean like 2 comments. But honestly, I love the feedback, guys. I love that people are starting to respond to my videos and starting to comment. So yeah, make sure you comment, because I'm gonna prove it right here. I'm gonna answer your questions in video format very extensively. So yeah, this one is going to come from Jamie King, and he wrote, "I'm 28 years old. I'm wanting to join the Marines as an MP, which is a military police. I was wondering if I am too old. I can deal with the hikes and yelling and everything, but I wonder, will I be treated differently because of my age? Currently, I am a grocery manager, so I work overtime, or overnight. Sorry, I wrote this one. So I have plenty of leadership skills." So, Jamie King, to answer your question, yes, you will be treated differently, but it's in a good way, only a good way. There was no like discrimination, if you could call it that, from the 18-year-old enlisted guys like me, myself, that just went right after high school, and the older guys. First of all, the older guys, if anything, you would have the upper hand. But from what I've seen, you guys are so much more rational. You're level-headed. You're not like the 18-year-old guys who just dropped their balls. I've been to boot camp with people who were 27 years old. There's a couple people like that. There were guys who got out of college at 22 or 23. And yeah, I mean, I only have good things to say about that. You're really going to find yourself promoting faster than other people. I can give an example. I'm not going to say his name, but in my unit, actually, there was a guy who came into my unit after me. So he had less time in the Marine Corps total, but he got promoted before me. He got promoted faster than everybody. He was like one of the first people. And we were all surprised, but then we were like, you know, he's older. He's like 25, and he's got this, you know, there's something about being older that you've already dealt with your own problems and insecurities, so you really deal with life better. So yeah, you can enlist up until like 36 years of age, so I wouldn't be worried about that in joining when you're 28 years old. And especially as an MP, like, I don't want an 18-year-old kid knocking down my door or, you know, arresting me or something. Older MPs are going to be the way to go. So I've also got written down here, it's a little whiteboard. Yeah, my handwriting sucks too. But all right, the second thing, I'm going to talk about suffering. All right, I'll just put down there. Suffering. Before you join, you have to realize, and I think I touched on this a little bit in my other video, but you got to realize that you're going to be suffering for 4 years, and it's going to be the worst thing ever. And I know what you're saying, right? Especially you 18-year-old guys like me when I enlisted. That 4 years is going to go by so fast, and it's, you know, I can do that. Don't just sigh and say, whatever, man, like, I get it, and, you know, there's going to be suffering. Really take it to heart when I say that you're going to be suffering, like, oh, man, it's going to be stupid. It's going to be stupid at times. So really take to heart that you're going to be suffering during these 4 years, especially as infantry. And I'm going to talk about that as my, last point? Yeah, I'm going to talk about infantry in particular, because that's what I am. And yeah, you're going to realize just how much this suffering is going to impact you. So yeah. And the third thing, I wrote down thick skin. And this is talking about, I'm sure we all heard it, is to get through boot camp, you got to have thick skin. And yeah, that's true to an extent, but I would go even farther, all right, to make it so you don't even need thick skin. Just don't be stupid. Don't get yourself, when you're in boot camp especially, like you're trying to earn the title Marine, or you're trying to become an airman, or whatever it is, make sure that instead of having thick skin, just be smart and don't get yourself seen. At the end of boot camp, I promise you, all right, this is going to sound weird. My drill instructor didn't know my name. He didn't know my name. There was 90 of us, and I just didn't get seen a lot, all right? I did what I was told. I didn't make any ruckus. I didn't get myself seen out of anything. I didn't fail out of any hikes. I didn't, there was no way that he should know my name unless he calls you out. So the easiest way to get through boot camp is just go, we call it GP, general population. Become one of the guys who just kind of flows through boot camp. And they're going to talk about them. They're going to be like, if you're one of those guys, like, you got to stand up, like, what the fuck? And just don't listen to that. Just be a general population guy. You don't want to be seen. If you're a squad leader, if you're the guy who's in charge of the 90-person platoon, you're going to be seen, obviously. You're going to be the center of attention at all times. Once you get out of that position, they're going to know your name. And I know it's going to be enticing because they're going to be like, oh, if you're a squad leader or guide, you're going to get promoted. And yes, that is true. You will get promoted if you get done with boot camp as a squad leader or guide. But you don't want to be caught in the middle where you're a squad leader, but you're getting destroyed and you are putting more stress on yourself than you should. So really just, I would recommend just be smart about it. Don't get yourself seen. That's what I did, and I made it through. And the fourth point I'll give you is you'll never be good enough, all right? What do I mean by that? All right, I remember what I meant by that. So the fourth point, you'll never be good enough. You start out in boot camp, you get through, and you don't take my last piece of advice, and you become a squad leader. You know, good for you. You're a squad leader, you get promoted. Once you hit SOI or the fleet, nobody cares that you were a squad leader. And the suffering you endured just to be a squad leader in boot camp, nobody's going to take that into account. Nobody cares at all. And that goes for anything you do in the Marine Corps. You can talk to any Marine. If you aren't a rifleman or an infantryman in the Marine Corps, then you aren't as sought after. You aren't looked up to. And there's definitely people. So the infantry have their own little like clique, all right? They made their own little thing, and they're like, all right, you know, fuck all you guys. And I'm not one of those guys. It's like, it's just, you're never going to be good enough. You see where I'm going with this? No matter what you do, no matter if you become a squad leader, no matter if you get promoted early, no matter if you can do this many pull-ups or this fast of a run or whatever it is, you're never going to be good enough. There's always going to be somebody who's better. There's always going to be people who are like, yeah, you're good. You can do all those things, but you're a pogue, you know, a person other than grunt, not a rifleman. They're going to be like, oh, you're not that. And even as a rifleman, we have that. Like, there's people that are injured as a rifleman, right? We have injuries, so we'll stay back while everybody else goes to the field, and then they'll be like, I'm above you, all right? We're both riflemen, but I'm above you because you're injured and I'm not, and I've been to the field a little bit more. I've been training a little bit more, and when I guess, I mean, my unit, it just stood up, so like nobody in it had seen combat except for like the super higher ups, but in other units that have seen combat, there's definitely like a disconnect between the guys who haven't seen combat and the guys who have. There's always gonna be cliques, there's always gonna be somebody better, and know that you're never gonna be good enough. And that's never gonna change. Even as a veteran, we still give each other shit because of what we did in the Marine Corps, or the military. Exactly, all right? Marine Corps is supposed to be the best branch, and like we pride ourselves from that, and we pick on other veterans who weren't Marines. It's just, I mean, it's so fucked up, but it is what it is. You're never going to be good enough. So anybody who tells you you have to be infantry, Marine, and you have to go to combat and all these things, nope. Like, just tell them to fuck off. You did your part, and you did what you're told, and that's it, all right? Just leave it there. There's always going to be somebody who's going to be bashing on you. The fifth thing I've got is infantry information. So I'm going to explain to you a little bit about the infantry. So I talked about it in, I think it was the gas mask video that I did. This was like the last video I did, or the second to last. The way that training works in the infantry, all right, I'll just start it off with that, is you do a week in the rear. This is in general, right? Sometimes you'll do month-long field things. And the field means you're training. You're not showering, getting very little sleep, very little food, and you're running around, sprinting around, puking, twisting your ankles, all that good shit. The field, it goes like you're doing a week of in the barracks and training for the field evolution that you're about to do, and then you do a week in the field. So you're going to be training and, yeah, doing stuff. I touched on it a couple times in the other points that I did. You're going to be suffering the most as an infantryman, all right? Other people who are not grunts, I'm not picking on them, but they don't go to the field as much, nearly as much, all right? Or if they do, they aren't running around puking and like just very, very strenuous activities and very dangerous things as well. Everybody knows that the highest casualty rate is in the infantry. Everybody knows that the hardest job is the infantry. This is no secret. This isn't like something to be debated against, but just know that before you pick a job, really put into account the amount of suffering you're about to do. All right. Just, I mean, I can't say that enough. It's gonna be hard and it's gonna suck. There's definitely a relevant thing you need to ask yourself before choosing your job. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the 5 questions that I decided to answer today. If you guys liked it, make sure to leave a like and a comment. Please comment. I'm going to answer every question. As you saw, Jamie King, did I not answer your question? I did. So make sure you ask a question, get your voice heard, ask any question at all. I'm here for you. That's what this channel is here for. And make sure to give my other videos a watch. See if you like any of those things, because I've been trying out a bunch of different things. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later.